The biggest AI story today is not a shiny launch, it is a shutdown. According to TechCrunch and The Verge, Anthropic's most powerful models were pulled from circulation after a government order tied to national security concerns and a disputed jailbreak finding. Anthropic says it disagrees with the decision, but the practical result is simple. Access is gone, and the debate has shifted from model capability to who gets to decide when a model is too risky to stay online. This is TSL, Byte Sized, your daily AI news brief for Saturday, June 13, 2026. Let's get into it. On the Anthropic side, the company says it was ordered to block access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for all foreign nations, including employees, according to The Verge. That meant Anthropic had to cut off the models for all customers, not just a specific region or account class, which is a huge operational move for a commercial AI product. TechCrunch reports that Anthropic pushed back, saying it disagreed that a narrow potential jailbreak should justify recalling a model deployed to hundreds of millions of people. What matters here is the precedent. If a frontier model can be yanked after a safety dispute, then model distribution is no longer just a product decision, it is a policy and compliance problem too. For developers and enterprise buyers, the takeaway is that access risk is now part of the stack, right alongside performance and cost. If your workflow depends on a single model, today's news is a reminder that availability can change fast when regulators step in. The second big story is Meta, and it is not about a model release or a flashy demo. According to TechCrunch, the company's months-old AI unit, which now employs about 6,500 people, is facing serious internal strain, with engineers describing the environment in extremely negative terms. The report says the group is on the verge of revolt, which suggests the pressure inside Meta's AI push is not just technical, but organizational. That matters because Meta has been trying to scale up its AI ambitions quickly, and a unit that large only works if the teams inside it can actually hold together. If morale is collapsing, that can slow product timelines, make retention harder, and complicate the company's race to keep up with rivals. For listeners, the key point is that AI competition is not only about models and chips, it is also about whether the people building them can stay aligned long enough to ship. Google is taking a different kind of fight to the security front. According to TechCrunch, the company has sued a Chinese cybercrime operation it says used AI to scam hundreds of thousands of victims, including sending 2.5 million text messages over just 2 weeks. The group is identified as Outsider Enterprise, and Google says the operation used AI to scale phishing and fraud at a volume that would have been much harder to pull off manually. That matters because it shows how generative tools are being folded into industrial-scale scams, not just one-off spam campaigns. The legal move also signals that major platforms are starting to treat AI-enabled fraud as a direct threat to their ecosystems, not just a background nuisance. For users, the practical takeaway is that scam messages may get more convincing, more personalized, and much harder to spot if attackers keep automating the workflow. For the market, it is another sign that AI safety now includes abuse prevention at internet scale. Apple is suddenly getting a lot more attention for Siri, and for once, the conversation is not about disappointment. According to The Verge, a new version of Siri appears to be significantly better, enough that longtime skeptics are asking whether the assistant has finally turned a corner. The report does not frame this as a full reinvention, but it does suggest Apple has made a meaningful improvement in a product that has spent years lagging behind user expectations. That matters because Siri still sits at the center of Apple's voice strategy across phones, tablets, and home devices, and even modest gains could change how people interact with the ecosystem. If Apple can make Siri reliably useful for more than timers and basic commands, that has implications for search, device control, and future AI features built into the operating system. For now, the story is less about a grand AI leap and more about a long-running product finally looking more competitive. There is also fresh money moving in the AI startup world. According to TechCrunch, Mistral is rumored to be raising 3 billion euros at a valuation around 20 billion euros, which would nearly double its Series C valuation. If that deal comes together, It would be a major signal that investors still see room for another large independent model company in a market dominated by giants. The size of the round also suggests Mistral is preparing for a much bigger infrastructure and product push. For listeners, the important part is that capital is still flowing toward frontier AI, even as the market gets more crowded and more expensive to play in. Before I let you go, keep an eye on whether Anthropic's access restrictions become temporary or turn into a longer policy shift, because that will tell us a lot about how governments are thinking about model control. Also watch for any response from Meta on the reported internal unrest, since that could shape how quickly the company can keep scaling its AI team. If either of those stories moves again, it will say a lot about where the industry's pressure points really are. That is TSL, Byte Sized for Saturday, June 13, 2026. Find the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts. See you tomorrow.